This is molecular soap, or the given chemical name sodium stearate. It consists of two parts, a lipophilic tail and hydrophilic head. The lipophilic tail interacts with fat, oils, lipids, and non-polar molecules, while the hydrophilic head interacts with water and other polar substances. The structure is the key to soap cleansing and germ-killing properties. If we wash our hands without soap, we can only clean off the soluble in water. Water alone can remove any oily substances, since it can't interact with them. But if we wash our hands with soap, the lipophilic tail attached to oily soap substances and spherical structure called micelles are formed. When we rinse our hands with water, the water molecule interact with hydrophilic head. As the result, the micelles are carried away by the water molecules and overall come off from my hand.
The first step is 150 ml of used cooking oil was filtered and measured in a beaker, and then another 150 ml of coconut oil was measured using measuring cylinder. The second step is 50 gram of NaOH was weighed and mixed in 180 ml of distilled water in a beaker. The temperature was measured and observed to cool down until 60 degrees Celsius. The third step is in a beaker, cooking oil and coconut oil was added. NaOH then was added into the beaker and constantly stirred for 30 minutes until the solution started to precipitate yellow color solid. The fourth step is food coloring. Essential oil and 80 ml of water was added and stirred continuously. The fifth step is the liquid soap solution was poured into silicone mold. Finally, the sixth step, the liquid soap was left to harden in silicone mold for 24 hours. pH was measured before and after soap hardens.
pH value of the soap before and after drying process is 11.5. So, pH value for both of the soap before and after drying process are alkaline. Based on the result, the texture of the soap is smooth and creamy. It has uniform texture because the shape of silicone mold, and it feels silky when touched. The color of the soap before drying process is light orange. After 24 hours, the soap turned into pink color. The soap has changed color due to natural ingredients in the soap. Bubbly foam that is produced when soap is agitated in the presence of water. Soap molecules have both hydrophilic and hydrophobic parts. The hydrophilic heads are attracted to water, while the hydrophobic tails are repelled by water. As the soap cover particles are lifted off the surface, they become encapsulated in bubbles. The hydrophilic heads of the soap molecules orient themselves toward the water, and the hydrophobic tails remain inside the bubble surrounding the trapped impurities. The smell of the soap was coffee due to the addition of coffee essential oil.
I'll be explaining the discussion of Lab 1, which is making diet soap. First of all, this is called saponification, which occurs when convert triglyceride, which is used cooking oil, into soap by combining with sodium hydroxide. So firstly, sodium hydroxide should dissolve in water because it helps to control the release of heat generated during the dissolution process, and also it prevents a sudden temperature increase that could lead into splattering or other safety hazards. Other than that, dissolving sodium hydroxide in water ensures a uniform distribution of the caustic substance throughout the water, creating a homogeneous solution. The dissolved sodium hydroxide in water is the alkaline solution needed to react with the fatty acid in oils during saponification. The chemical reaction transforms the used cooking oil into soap. A well-dissolved sodium hydroxide solution promotes an efficient and complete saponification process. When sodium hydroxide is fully dissolved in water, it will separate into two compounds, which is sodium Na+, and hydroxide OH-. So the reaction between triglyceride and sodium hydroxide will break the covalent bond between carbon and oxygen. Since carbon has 4 valence electrons, it will need 4 more electrons to become more stable. Thus, the hydrogen will donate its valence electron to carbon, and hydroxide will accept the electron from carbon to form glycerol, which is a type of alcohol. OH is an alcohol group. Thirdly, the positively charged sodium and negatively charged oxygen will attract each other. This causes Na to donate electron to oxygen to achieve a more stable compound, which is the soap. The name is sodium salt of fatty acids. So in conclusion, triglyceride will mix together with sodium hydroxide to produce glycerol, a type of alcohol which contains OH, and sodium salt of fatty acid, which is usually called as soap.
Okay, if you see what is the reaction involved in preparation of soap. The reaction that involved in preparation of biosoap is saponification. The process of saponification occurs when converts lipids, which is used cooking oil, the acid into soap by combining with sodium hydroxide, which is the base. Through saponification, the acid and the base are neutralized and creating a soap.
The pH of soap before and after drying was 11.5. The test strip was dipped in the test solution for a half a second and compared it to the standard color. However, the pH value for regular soap is around 9 to 10. This is because the ratio of sodium hydroxide to used vegetable oil are unbalanced, causing the pH to be more alkaline. This may cause irritation to the skin. So the ideal ratio for sodium hydroxide to used cooking oil would be 0.3 to 1, according to this article. So the correct calculation would be 45 grams of sodium hydroxide to 150 ml of used vegetable oil to get the pH around 9 to 10, because less alkaline soap will not cause dehydration and irritation.
What
while
is the
higher
function
alkaline
of
soap
coconut oil
does
in the
cause
preparation
irritation
of
to the skin.
soap? The coconut oil has lathering properties which involves the creation of bubbles that can help in the distribution and application of the cleaning agent. The lather is formed by the interaction between the soap molecules and water, which increases the effectiveness of cleaning. Other than that, coconut oil contains lauric acid, which helps to solidify the soap. Lauric acid has a higher melting point compared to some other fatty acids found in oils. When soap is made with coconut oil, the resulting soap has a higher melting point, contributing to its hardness. Lauric acid, when saponified, produces a soap that is harder and more solid. The image below shows the chemical compound of lauric acid.
What's the role of sodium hydroxide in this experiment? Sodium hydroxide, also known caustic soda, is used in the production of soap through a process called saponification. The reaction between sodium hydroxide and used cooking oil breaks down the triglycerides in used cooking oil into glycerol, which is an alcohol and fatty acid called salt known as soap. The fatty acid salt are what commonly referred to as soap. The reaction formula is when triglyceride combines with sodium hydroxide, it will produce glycerol and fatty acid salt, which is called as soap.
In conclusion, the hypothesis is proven because the conversion of used cooking oil into soap through the saponification process will result in an effective cleansing product with properties similar to commercially available soaps. The soap produced will exhibit characteristics such as lathering ability, hardness, and cleansing properties, making it a sustainable and environmental friendly alternative to traditional soap production method.